From the Rockville campus of Montgomery College Television presents NJCAA college basketball with the Montgomery College women's team taking on the Dragons from Howard Community College. Hi, everybody. I'm Michael Brown, joined at the table by my partner, Sean Kobrin. And Sean, we've got an excellent Maryland JUCO matchup tonight, but even more importantly, a real key D2 Region 20 contest.
Absolutely. That region is so important. Howard comes in here challenging for the crown, but the Raptors are off to a red-hot start. Tarla Gasquet, one of her best teams in years, 13-5 overall, 6-0 in Maryland JUCO so far.
Now, Howard, they've been hanging around the middle of the standings in Maryland JUCO, but they've won their last three straight, and they are definitely in the mix when it comes to a very competitive D2 Region 20.
Absolutely, but MC is going to counter with that deep bench that they have, the great defense that they play, and great scoring from their leading scorers, Izzy Lujan Gonzalez, Kalea Boykin, and Tiana James.
Well, James has been a constant this season for the Raptors. She's had double-digit points in every game except for two, and she's coming off a very strong 31-point effort this past weekend against a tough Union County team.
Yeah, she is leading Maryland JUCO in scoring with 21.6 points per game, 7th in the nation in scoring. But here's what's even more impressive. Teams know that she's shooting. She's shooting over 45% from the field. That's 8th in Maryland JUCO.
Well, and of course, the last time we did a broadcast from here at Montgomery College against Prince George's County, James, player of the game, as she poured in 21 that night. So we're going to see how James and the Raptors fare against a very stingy Howard defense tonight. Should be a lot of fun. We'll be right back with the starting lineups and the opening tip. You're watching Raptors basketball on MC TV. And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. Michael Brown again alongside my partner Sean Kobrin. We're just about set to get game one underway. So let's take a look at the starters for the Dragons from Howard Community College. Number 1, Nakia Smith. Number 12, Julia Harrington. Number 15, Kalani Corcoran. Number 21, Micaiah Mallett. And 23, Sydney Harmon.
And Howard's head coach is Aaron Barnes.
And for the starters for the Montgomery College Raptors, number 2, Tiana James. Number 12, Talia Kunkar. 15, Eve Weeks. 22, Kalea Boykin. 23, Tamira Timmons.
And, of course, the head coach for MC is Tarla Gasquet in her 17th year. And the assistants are Pat Cardin, Rhonda Jackson, and Armani Lomax.
And our officials for tonight's game are Mike Riesick, Michelle Rather, and Kevin Brooks. And we are all set to get underway. And it'll be Eve Weeks jumping against Sydney Harmon.
Michael, it's going to be really important for the Raptors to set the pace right from the start. Howard has a few injuries, a little bit shorthanded today. Can they take care of the basketball and have good possessions? They have 2 of the top rebounders in Maryland JUCO, so if they can control the pace, they can keep the Raptors one and done.
Of course,
if the Raptors defense gets up in there, it could be a long day for Howard.
Yeah, I was just going to say it. Easier said than done. The Raptors with a very aggressive, pressing, half-court defense. Cross-court pass. Timmons. This is James. Talked about Tiana in the pregame. Down low to Kunkar. Back out to James for three. And good. So Tiana James gets the Raptors off to a 3-0 lead.
Great start feeling it. Pitch out from the post. Great passing angle. Easy shot for one of the top shooters in the country.
And there's an early turnover for Howard.
There it is, feeling the rhythm.
And a substitution already for Howard. Deese comes in. Sarah Deese comes in for Sydney Harmon.
Well, Coach Barnes knows the margin of error very low for Howard.
They've had a real problem with injuries over the last 2 weeks. There's Boykin's shot from the corner, no good. Rebound to Howard.
And you can see, first couple possessions, Howard pressuring the wings, leaving some of those outside shots open. You got to leave something open when you're shorthanded.
Cross-court, Corcoran, no good. Deese with the rebound. Back out to Smith. Micaiah Smith, the leading scorer for Howard, averages 14 a game.
Cool fact that we learned about Smith pregame as she stumbles on the cut there is she's a Region 20 cross-country champion, so shouldn't be much of a problem for her to go for all 40 minutes today, Michael.
No, she is. She's quite an athlete. And here come the Raptors. James brings it up the court. The Raptors like to play up-tempo. Smith gets a hand in there. James into Timmons, over to Boykin from the corner again, no good. Rebound to Harrington.
Strong rebound from Harrington. She's 5th in Maryland JUCO in rebounds, and you can see they're skying over the opposition.
And there she drives down the lane for two. So 3-2 here in the early going. Harrington, a very aggressive-looking player out there for Howard.
And they're going to need it from her, and from that middle of the zone, they're playing that extended 3-2. Those wing passes are going to be open after the ball moves a little bit.
Kunkar short with the jumper. Smith comes out of there with it. Pushes it up. There's Harrington. Over to Corcoran. Deese. Little weave out top. Smith drives. Has it knocked away by James. Leads the break. Takes it all the way. No good. So fast pace in the early going. Both teams a little off the mark.
Michael, Nakia Smith really setting the pace for Howard.
And she traveled.
Third turnover she's had, though. She stumbled on a cut, not necessarily her turnover, but pass went out of bounds. Last time down, strong drives to the hole, but the Raptors always active hands on defense, so they got the deflection that time, forced her into a travel.
So a little bit of full court pressure. Raptors break it easily. Weeks way outside and short.
Tiana James won for her first one. Why not hit one from NBA range? Just a little bit short.
Denise Moore is in for the Raptors. Came in for Timmons. And there's a bucket. So Howard with an early lead here, 4-3.
Well, they're doing exactly what they need to do, playing tough defense, forcing the Raptors into one shot that's an outside shot, being able to collect the rebounds, just being tough with the ball on offense.
Weeks, Kunkar drives, puts it up, no good. Rebound to Corcoran. Here comes Smith leading the break.
That's the first time the Raptors have gotten a drive to the hoop. Good look by Kunkar, just didn't fall that time.
Mallet, Corcoran to Mallet for the bucket. Nice feed. 6'3" Howard.
Michael, we know that the Raptors like to be real active on defense, active hands, active feet. It's amazing when you're solid with the basketball and working together and flowing as a team, what you can do when you protect the basketball.
Six rebounds already for Howard, and we're just underway.
Really
Raptors a little cold from the field. Six defensive rebounds, 7 total.
It's another early substitution. Bethany Fowler into the game for the Raptors now too.
And she comes in for Eve Weeks. Fowler showed us a lot when we were here 2 weeks ago. Very quick player, very active.
Does a lot of different things that you wouldn't expect from one of the bigs. Gets up and down the floor quickest.
To Deese. Off the mark, no good. Battle for the rebound. And it'll stay down at the Howard end.
And Michael, you think she comes into the game for rebounding, but a little miscommunication. 3 Raptors touched the ball. None of them could control that rebound.
Corcoran with the inbound. And that's a turnover.
Interesting one right there, but that is the second time that Harrington has beaten Montgomery College with that back cut. Not that difficult a move when you know it's coming. Just play behind the player, but Harrington being quick, getting to the hole.
Boykin brings it up. Over to Moore. Down to Boykin from the side, no good. Rebound to Harrington. Harrington's cleaning up on the boards.
Absolutely.
Smith. Down low to Mallet. Aggressive move. 8-3 Howard.
Howard really using their size.
And they've
contesting
got a couple
shots inside, controlling rebounds. That was a post up as soon as Howard got the rebound. She went down the court, buried herself in the post, got the ball, easy bucket.
Fowler. That's
Looks like
a
they
turnover.
got it for 3 seconds.
As the defense collapsed on Fowler, and she just couldn't get rid of it.
Michael, right now Montgomery College needs a little bit more movement off of the ball. They're finding open spots stationary. Last possession they got a shot from the short corner. This time they got the ball into Fowler. She was triple teamed, and there was nowhere for her to go with the ball.
Deese. Guarded by James. Smith. And Izzy Gonzalez is in for the Raptors as well. Rebound to Boykin. She pushes it. James. In the corner to Gonzalez. And wow, nothing but net on that one.
That's the change of pace that the Raptors need. If they can hit some of those outside shots, then Howard's in a world of trouble. Here is drive and kick. Good basketball. Michael, Raptors only 6 points so far, but both drive and kick for an open 3. And that's going to be open all game as Izzy Gonzalez gets a deflection, the steal, draws a foul.
And she drew the foul when Smith tried to get it back. So Raptors maintain possession. Isabella Gonzalez is in there for the Raptors now.
I wouldn't be surprised if she gets herself another shot.
She averages 14.7 a game. Leads the team in 3-pointers. Nice feed to Boykin. Oh, didn't fall. And that's going to be Howard's ball as Fowler knocked it out of bounds.
Another quick sub, and Raptors first look at Athena Naganywe in the game. We didn't see her a couple weeks ago, Michael.
No,
Here she is
was
defending
injured.
the ball.
She's coming back from an injury. Raptors pushing it. Fowler. Back to Fowler. And she's fouled as she went through the lane.
Michael, that's the first time that the Raptors have gotten something with their pace, but that's something they're going to be able to do today Howard's getting up the floor offensively quickly. They're not getting all 5 players back. Can Montgomery College take advantage of that? They certainly did this possession.
Good look at Bethany Fowler. Out of South Carroll High School. She's a sophomore.
Looks like Coach Gasquet was finding the right 5 to match up with this team. Looks like a good combination on the floor. Moving without the ball unselfishly. Extending out for the 1-3-1 press right now.
And there's a press, and it gets a turnover. Gonzalez on the baseline. She travels.
Solid defense from Howard. Good non-call on the contact there.
And it's interesting you mentioned that because the Howard coach is quite upset with the officials at the moment. And she's really letting them have it. She feels like her team is not getting the call. And there's a call. And she got her call there as Fowler.
Well, solid lobbying by Coach Barnes there. Fowler really had good defensive position, active hands, kind of a minor reach there. No advantage gained on the reach, but definitely got the call from the referees.
And maybe the lobbying from the sidelines did the trick. Good pressure. And another bucket.
Another post cut that just goes uncontested.
That was Sydney Harmon who is back in. 10-8.
Michael Howard's probably only going to go 7 deep today, have a bunch of injuries.
There's James.
They're going to have to take advantage of those substitutions and be able to keep up with MC.
That was James' first bucket of the day. Yeah, that's going to be tough, particularly when we get into the second half. At this pace, with only 2 subs. Gonzalez from deep, off the rim, no good. Rebound to Howard. And that's off the Raptors.
Now we're seeing a little more Raptors basketball. We've seen deflections in 3 of the last 4 possessions, active hands. Howard's still securing rebounds, but now can they get it down the court against the pressure picking up the rebounder right away? 4
rebounds already for Harrington for Howard. There's Smith from outside, off the rim, no good. Rebound Mallet. She loses it. And what do we got here? It's going to be Raptor ball.
Great hustle by Howard.
Howard is showing a lot of guts out there. Again, they are shorthanded. They've had the injury bug really hurt the team.
Like you said, Michael, playing with a lot of heart.
And Boykin gets it to go. So our first tie of the game. Smith. And that's good. Sydney Harmon with the bucket.
Howard impressive with the counter. Now, the last couple possessions, that foul line's been open. There it is again.
Fowler, a moonshot. She had some arch on that one.
Really pretty shot. And this is where the fatigue starts to play in, Michael. That high post was not quite open the first few possessions. But now Howard, with the guards extended past the three-point line, the post sitting deep in the post, that's an area that gets opened up. The first couple possessions, it was a short corner, which is the baseline extended. Now that foul line's opening up, and the pressure's not coming to meet the player.
Fowler misses, but James with the rebound has it knocked away by Corcoran. And Corcoran comes out of there with it. They're going to call a backcourt foul on James.
So it does look like those hand checks are getting called to this point. Not a lot of contact. Sure, it is a foul. But it does slow the pace of the game when every one of those gets called.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that develops. Particularly with Howard with a short bench.
Right, it's interesting when you want to lobby for fouls. But then you can't afford to give away too many if they're being called both ways.
Nice pass ahead. Good look to Gonzalez. Off the rim, no good. And Kanye, rather. With the putback, came up a little short. Yeah, we did not see a Tina Kanye in our last broadcast. She was coming back from an injury.
And Coach Gasquet does say that she's strong rebounder, good at getting the ball back in the basket. Definitely did her job there.
Good
strong
size. 6'1". Off the back of the rim, no good. And that is the first quarter, with the Raptors on top after 1 quarter of play, 14-12. So what do you think, Sean?
Well, we talked about pace of play, right? Howard is definitely controlling that. They are quick up the court offensively, and that's making the Raptors have to scramble back, have to play that half-court defense and not be able to extend as well. They're getting great rebounds, like we said, keeping the Raptors to one and done. But we see it's starting to soften up a little bit. Will the quarter break help out Howard stay fresh, pick up their defensive intensity a little bit?
And again, we keep coming back to the fact that Howard, with just 2 substitutes on the bench.
And the Raptors have already gone 10 deep.
They have.
They haven't quite found that chemistry yet with everybody on the floor. There was a quick stretch of play where there was some quick movement off the ball, some unselfish passing, and they had a good attempt at the basket and another bucket. That chemistry kind of dissolved really quickly. Credit to Howard, who's really packing in that zone, has a lot of big players down low who can seal off, contest a shot, and get a rebound. The other thing, Michael, just get the ball in the basket, right? Montgomery College is taking decent shots. They're only shooting 30%, 5 of 16 so far.
And, of course, that makes a big difference in the rebound totals. Howard with 13 rebounds to 7 for the Raptors. Howard is hitting 46% from the field. The Raptors 31%.
Right, so Howard being efficient in their field goals. 3 of those shots that they took and made were layups. And Raptors are on schedule for how they play defense. They already have 4 steals. They average about 20 a game, Michael. So it's about par for the course for them. But Howard able to withstand that defensive pressure.
And Howard with 9 turnovers has somehow overcome that.
Well, and you're making about half your shots and the other team's cold. It's going to even out a little bit.
All right, Eve Weeks inbounds it as we get set to start quarter 2. James, Kunkar, Moore, and Fowler in for the Raptors. For Howard, it's Smith, Mallett, Deese, Corcoran, and Sidney Harmon. So the original starters for Howard.
Michael, as much as we like Tiana James' game, that was a deep 3, somewhat contested with 16 seconds left on the shot clock. That shot's still going to be there a little bit later on.
And Smith drops that one from outside the arc to give Howard the lead, 15-14. Weeks up, no good. The Raptors is not hitting.
And there's that foul line pass. That's the open pass. Good catch, good shot. Just can't make a bucket right now.
Right. Definitely a good shot. Good look. An open look.
Coach Barnes still selling that there's physical play, that the Raptors are not getting whistled for fouls. Just good active hands there, in my opinion. When you're an offensive player being solid with the ball pivoting, you might initiate some of that contact with and almost initiate the slap.
Cross-court pass down low to Harrington, who had an excellent first quarter. And another foul call. And that was on Fowler.
Look at this
Good
find
look.
right here. Really enjoying watching Julia Harrington work here. Really good rebounder, but very crafty offensively. Finds a way to just find a seam in the defense, get away from the defenders, and suddenly she's open.
Makes the foul shot. Not much not a very good foul shooter at 45%, but she drained the first.
Didn't look it there.
And made them both.
She's feeling it, Michael.
She really is. And that's 2 fouls on Fowler, who the Raptors have taken out of the game. Timmons is in. Kamira Timmons. There's Kunkar from deep. No good. Raptors just not hitting.
And again, settling for that outside shot. They're all possession. Corcoran down low and Weeks knocks it out of bounds. Really nice contest by Eve Weeks, finally locating Harrington, making sure she doesn't get a clean catch.
Corcoran going to take it inbounds. Finds Harrington. Boy, they don't have an answer for her right now.
Michael, almost like a slot receiver. She just finds a way to get open. Good footwork, quick cuts.
6 points and 4 rebounds already. James with a circus shot, no good, and a real battle for a rebound there as Harrington throws Timmons to the ground.
And great effort by Timmons to get the hand on the ball.
No foul called. That was very physical.
Did look like a lot of ball by both players, so I like the non-foul call.
Gonzalez in, Boykin in, and number 5 for the Raptors, Camille Martin is in.
So that's our first look at Martin. Just to say a little bit more about Smyra Timmons, she's proof that you can make a great impact on the floor without scoring a lot. She's one of the best defenders on the team. Forced that jump ball against Harrington, who's just having a monster game so far. And what do they get? A 3-point out of the inbound play.
Off of Camille Martin. Corcoran across court. Ooh, almost stolen there by Martin. Mallet down low. No good. Weeks with the rebound, and here come the Raptors.
And Howard opting for not contesting for the rebounds. They're sending Harrington back. They're balancing the court to make sure the Raptors can't get a fast break basket.
Gonzalez from deep, no good. Rebound to Boykin, and she puts it in. That's her first bucket of the night.
One of the first offensive rebounds by the Raptors. Both times that they've gotten offensive rebounds. They got a basket that time and had free throws the other time. Good offensive rebound, good putback.
Smith drives, tried to get it to Mallet, and it'll be Raptors ball. Gonzalez bringing it up.
Key stretch here, Michael. It seems like it's one of those momentum parts of the game.
6:45 to go in the half. Weeks. Over to Martin from 3, another one. So Camille Martin comes in and promptly hits 2 threes.
Well, I think they found the zone softener, and Michael, like we talked about, nothing wrong with an outside shot.
Harrington
as Martin draws the foul.
She got her money's worth on that foul.
Well, we found a little bit of the secret weapon of Harrington as here's the pitch out and the 3, right? Ball movement first, and then you hit that shot before the defense can come over.
The Raptors on top.
But in the post, Harrington, maybe a little bit of a frustration foul that they're keying on her. Just threw down Martin with both hands. And now she's getting a rest out of the game. This is the key stretch continues with Howard's best player out of the game. Can MC capitalize? Getting the offensive rebound that time.
Cross court. Martin up, no good. Right at the buzzer. Stolen by Gonzalez. And she promptly turns it over. Little sloppy right here. Here comes Smith. Stop and pop. In and out, no good. And that'll stay down there. Stay Howard ball.
Good read by Smith. Didn't hit the shot, but a really clever player. Just takes what the defense is giving to her, makes the top of that zone really work for Howard.
Deese has it blocked by Timmons, and Timmons hits the floor trying to save it.
Look at that effort by Timmons. Great slide on defense. Matches up with a player bigger than her, gets a block shot, almost gets the ball from rolling out of bounds.
She's a hustler. Corcoran inbounding it. Gets it to Smith, guarded by Gonzalez. Picked up by Moore. Smith makes it. Smith averages 14 a game. She's the leading scorer.
And just another clever play. Just finds a way to get the ball high off the glass, off the pick and roll, gets in the basket.
Timmons. Gonzalez. Timmons drives. Loose ball. And it'll be Howard ball.
So timeout by Howard. What I'm interested in, Michael, is that in that last possession, Smith, for Howard, started guarding that high post, the pass that had been open. But what that means is now the guards are able to dribble around the three-point area. They had two swing passes. They actually gave away an easy basket. They didn't see that short corner that continues to be open once the zone gets moving. Almost an opportune timeout for MC. Coach Gasquet gets the free timeout when her offense can really find some of those open gaps that are starting to open up from Howard.
And we do want to remind or mention that we don't want anyone going anywhere at halftime, because coming up at halftime we'll be showing a very special video. It's a chronicle of the MC women's soccer team the MC women's volleyball team that went to the national tournament in Iowa back in November. And we have a special video we'll be showing you at halftime about their journey out there.
Well, it's a night for Region 20 champions, and the men's game later on, we're going to be honoring not only that team, but the men's soccer team as well. And here we are watching the MC women.
And there's Gonzalez.
Starting to take a lead, and one of the contenders not only to win Maryland JUCO this year, but also to try to take Region 20. Two of the top teams in the country are in Region 20 this year, Michael.
That's for sure. CCBC Essex, they are the number 2 team in the country with a record of 22-1 overall, and they are in the Raptors division, Region 20. So that'll be an epic battle, as it appears the two will meet in the regions.
Here's that pace for the Raptors, pushing the ball the last 2 times down the court. Way to gather the feet for Tiana James. Just had to throw up the shot before she fell backwards, but when you're a shooter that good, you can get away with that kind of stuff when you get an open look 4 feet out. Shot it off balance,
and it still went in. Here's Mallett, and she's fouled by Boykin, and it counts.
Mallett really taking the onus of the offense this time, with Julia Harrington getting extended rest on the bench.
Here's a look. Mallett.
Strong with the basketball, feels the defender, spins off, gets that attempt up.
No good. Rebound to the Raptors. Boykin with the basketball. To Moore. To James. To Weeks. Traveled. Lost her footing.
And that low post flash was there. I think that there were too many options suddenly. There was an open shot, an open drive, and an open pass. Sometimes you have so much when the defense has been collapsing on you that you're surprised to be that open.
Harrington still on the bench for Howard.
Big minutes for Howard if they can get her a rest and still be within a few points.
Steal by Gonzalez. Ahead to Moore. for the bucket. Nice lead pass from Gonzalez.
Great job by both players. Moore running the court perfectly. Had the running lane.
Double team.
Lujan Gonzalez's eyes up as soon as she has the ball. Distributing the ball, easy buckets.
Raptors with the steal. Gonzalez from deep. Off the rim, no good. Weeks battles. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Howard's ball.
Michael, it's not for lack of confidence that the Raptors keep shooting that ball.
No. No, they're going to shoot themselves out of this bit of a cold streak.
And you like the confidence, but out of the regular players, there's only one player who shoots over 30% from three, and that's Izzy Lujan Gonzalez there.
It doesn't deter them.
No, turn that defense into offense like right there.
Good defense there by Boykin.
Getting those easy buckets in the full court. That's how the Raptors start running up the score. That's why we have a low-scoring game here. Howard playing good half-court offense. Have really calmed down on the turnovers in the second quarter, even though the Raptors have opened up the 6-point lead.
Smith drives, puts it up, blocked. Here comes Boykin. Pushing it up the floor. Out to Gonzalez. Over to Moore. There's James from the corner for three. They are just going to keep shooting that three.
And Michael, what's the difference? Ball movement, then the shot. That's quality offense. You get that rhythm.
And James with 10 points now with that three.
And she was calling for it. She definitely wanted it.
Camille Martin with the rebound. And here come the Raptors again. All of a sudden, MC is up by 9. They've steadily built the lead here in the second quarter.
Well, Mallett was sitting. She's coming back. She's coming back in.
And there's another bucket. Meanwhile, Harrington is still on the bench for Howard.
Well, she just re-entered that last possession, so Coach Barnes taking that calculated risk of can she get a rest to her starters who have had a really good game, but it's hard to play 40 minutes, Michael.
That's for sure.
And you want them in the second half. So can you get that rest and keep the score under control? It's getting a little bit out of control now. Raptors, to their credit, are starting to push that pace of play, getting some deflections on defense. And as soon as they get the ball on offense, players are flying down the court. The player with the ball has her eyes open, eyes down the court, seeing if she can pitch it ahead and get some of those easy baskets that the Raptors are so accustomed to.
And they're going to keep shooting that three. That's obvious.
Here's Coach Gasquet.
It's part of the game.
Yep.
That's part of their game plan.
How many of these situations has Coach Gasquet been in? 17 years as a head coach. He's been a coach at MC for the entire millennium, Michael.
Yes, yes. Started here in 2000 as an assistant in the women's program. Took over as head coach in 2006. And then just a couple of years ago also assumed the duties of athletic director. So she is a huge part of the athletic program here, obviously.
And a great hallmark of success for the women's team. In the last 10 years, 4 region championships, 2 appearances in the NJCAA national tournament, and another really strong team this year, starting to extend that lead into double digits now.
Consistency has really been a hallmark of her tenure here. Team is good every year. There's Harrington, and she immediately, I'm sorry, that was Mallett.
What helps that consistency, that active defense that the Raptors have? Howard doing a great job in the half court, but still only 25 points in a half.
There's Moore from the corner, off the rim, no good. Rebound to Corcoran, and here comes Smith. Less than a minute to go. Raptors up by 9. Down low to Mallet. She muscles it up. And good. And there's a foul. Mallet is strong underneath.
And Michael, between her and Harrington, there's not much of an answer. Just good positioning.
10 points on the night for Mallet.
Raptors
5 of 7 from the floor. And five rebounds. So she is really contributing.
And hard to see where the contact is there, but when you're so good with your footwork, you can almost create those defensive fouls when you have bodies surrounding you. Key 40 seconds, it's down to a 6-point game. Can the Raptors get it to 8 or 9 with the basket here? Or can Howard get a stop and a score, get it right back within range at halftime?
James Gonzalez from deep. Off the rim, no good. And Mallet with the rebound.
So advantage Howard, they got 20 seconds. Can they get it back down to a 4 or 3-point game?
Smith drives, kicks it. Corcoran for 3.
And just like that, Michael, Howard gets their starters back on the floor. Calculated risk by Coach Barnes.
And it's off the front of the rim, no good. So that is the end of our first half. The Raptors on top after the first half, 34-31. And I think we're both a little bit surprised, Sean.
I think so. We said at the beginning of the game that the key for Howard is to control that pace, to use their rebounders. What we were surprised by is how good offensively in the half court Howard is with those players as well. We knew they could rebound. We didn't know they could score like this. Really great positioning by the two bigs by Howard, really leading their team when they're on the floor.
So we're going to take a halftime break, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Again, stick around for this great upcoming volleyball video, their trip to nationals.
The excitement awaits. Welcome to Division II volleyball. 16 teams with an opportunity to win a national championship. All matches will be played at Alliant Energy Powerhouse Arena in Cedar Rapids.
Look at me, take a picture, it'll last longer. The mirror on the wall say I'm getting stronger. Ayo, the mirror don't lie. Ayo, the mirror don't lie. Look at me, take a picture, it'll last longer. The mirror on the wall say I'm getting stronger. Ayo, the mirror don't lie. Ayo, the mirror don't lie. Look at me, take a picture, it'll last longer. The mirror on the wall say I'm getting stronger. Ayo, the mirror don't lie. If you want the truth, don't close your eyes.
Oh, the games this week are gonna go really great. Definitely gonna take down the #1 seed. Let's go Raptors. I've told them since the beginning of the season, you have to practice and be able to play in the big game. That's what you prepare for, that's where you want to be, and essentially this is the biggest games you can play in. Last year when we got here, they were prepared, they were going to shock the world, and first match we were shell-shocked 100%. We hadn't seen anything to this level of competition before.
I tried to tell other people on my team, don't be surprised, these are the best of the best that we're playing.
We had a better record, I would say, than this year. And so coming in, we thought, we can take on any team.
I remember the whole team got in the elevator and there was 3 or 4 players from Cowley, and all my girls just looked up and they were all way taller than us, and I was like, oh, well, okay.
We went to nationals and all of a sudden these Amazon women are coming and hitting us in the face. And it was crazy, but now we have our own Amazons. And we went to Florida and we got more experience and we harnessed that and we put it into play.
It's game day!
Good afternoon here on the NJCAA Network as we welcome you to the Alliant Energy Powerhouse Arena in Cedar Rapids for the 2022 Volleyball Championship, as we have number 1 seed versus the number 16 seed Montgomery Raptors. In that first set, Montgomery hit 438 and still lost 25-12 because Johnson County hit 750. Montgomery County hit 4 from Bab, who hit 571. Federline with 2 and Jackson with 2, and she was perfect. And that's how it ends. An overpass, Troutman, 11. 25-11 was the third. Finishes out 19 kills for Montgomery.
I'd say with that type of game, since we're the 16th seed and they're the 1 seed, that's the kind of game where you go in and just think to yourself, I have nothing, like we have nothing to lose, you know? Like we come out and all we can do is impress people by getting points against them, since they are such a good team.
The girls were devastated and upset, but we had 19 kills. We had a positive hitting percentage. There was a lot of positive things that came out of that first game, and they didn't see it, but Dan and I saw the improvement from last year.
Like after today, I was hungry today, and
Now you're starving.
yeah, now I'm starving. Like now I really, really, really want this. Like I want to.
Ready for game day number 2. We're really hyped.
Definitely win this. We just do what we know how to do and play how we know how to play.
When you go to nationals, like these teams are close. Like these girls are not like separated in different groups. Like they have drive, they have will, they have heart for the game, but they're also like very close in a family.
It's game day!
I think they're a goofy, fun-loving group. They like to have fun. Sometimes I question, like, how did I get here? How did I wind up at this group?
I don't know, I think the experience is really important. Coming out here with your team, spending all these nights, it's just a really cool experience.
I think that on the court and off the court, lifting each other up at practice, when you see each other like around school, like having that team and like family bond is really important.
So we've had to help each other up after losses and then hype each other up when we win. We played 36-something games before coming here, so we're just very prepared for whatever it kind of threw at us.
So Illinois Central at Montgomery, our last consolation match in the 9th bracket.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cedar Rapids, Iowa at the Alliant Energy Powerhouse.
There, serves it up, and away we go. Another point for Montgomery, 5-0. Schultz gonna swing away, block, man. 20-17, Montgomery.
The way we came out was probably one of the best times I've ever seen my team play, and we were having so much fun and the energy was so good. Like, you just get so excited at the thought of like that we could do this, or just how much fun you're having and being around there, that we were literally getting tears in our eyes in like the first set of the game just because of how grateful we were.
And that'll do it. Illinois Central defeats Montgomery.
When we came out and had the 5-0 lead, it was kind of like, I felt like the girls felt like, yeah, we're supposed to be here, we can compete.
Win or lose, we're a family, we're a team. We win together, we lose together, and that's what we try like our best to do, is just kind of like make sure that every moment we have together, we spend it together.
After the game, when everyone's super upset and emotional and they start sharing their feelings about the season, you really realize how much, you know, your team has made an impact on you.
2-point swing and we're right there in the match, whereas last year, not so much in the match. So, you know, hopefully next year, years to come, we'll get back here and win some matches.
You're all together every single day from August to November, and hearing people say how much they love you and how much support goes around on a team makes this entire thing so special. So I'll always remember that.
Before you know it, the season's over, like it is for me, and like I'm done playing at MC. And I mean, I wish I could go back and say, oh, I wish I like spent more time doing this with them or that, because the bond is irreplaceable. I mean, you can replace a game with another game, winning, playing. I mean, just like the people you're around is like what really matters.
Raptors on 3! 1, 2, 3! Raptors!
Is this NASA image fake? How are colors used to inform? And what is light really? She'll explain it and why it matters.
I love the diversity at Montgomery College.
And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. Michael Brown alongside my partner, Sean Kobrin. We're at halftime, and the Raptors are on top 34-31. I think fair to say we're both a little bit surprised by how close this game is at this point.
A little bit. What I do like from Howard's perspective is I don't think that they're surprised. They're playing their game, packing in that zone, making sure that the Raptors are one and done with defense. But what you can see here, Raptors had 11 assists on their 13 made field goals. And we can see from the highlights here, 10 assists for the 13 made field goals for Howard as well. When the ball is shared, both offenses are going really well. When teams are settling for shots, especially MC, that's when the shots are not falling. And MC has been cold on those unassisted attempts. Howard turning the ball over, but when they do get to run their half-court offense, they're being very efficient, shooting almost 50% from the field.
And the Raptors are struggling a bit at 37.1, and that's a big part of the game right now. And the other big story here is the rebounds.
Right. You can see when you rebound as well as the Dragons have, it can mitigate the fact that the Raptors are going to turn you over, right? 10 rebound difference, 10 turnover difference. The turnovers are expected when you play MC. You're going to have active hands. They're going to force you into some mistakes. But to be able to rebound and control the game that decisively and then get the ball back up court. A couple times the Raptors pressured that defensive rebound, got a couple deflections. I think they got one turnover. But Howard, staying alert, was able to have some of those sloppy stretches where Hart comes into it. You turn it over, you get the ball right back, get that turnover right back, and then it's a neutral possession.
You know, we were talking at the beginning of the game and actually through the first half about how Howard, with their injury bug, has a very short bench. They've only got 7 available players, but they're not playing like a team that only has 7 available players. They're playing with a lot of confidence.
In fact, they're only going 6 deep so far. Sarah Deese has basically played starter minutes because they've rotated her for everybody who needs a rest. And Julia Harrington, we were talking about giving her a rest just for possible conditioning. She had 2 fouls in the first half. It was a little subplot that we missed. So I expect to see her play all 20 minutes this half if she stays out of foul trouble. So MC's going to have to contest with that, be able to find that mid-range game, those short corners, the top of the foul line, where are those little seams in the defense that will get open? And can they account for the bigs of Howard when they make these basket cuts? Stay in front, make sure that to contest the catch.
The only Raptor in any kind of foul trouble is Bethany Fowler. She has 2. Nobody else has any more than 1. And we've got an early foul.
So unfortunate there, little reach, and looks like Smith is going to the line. Raptors are countering with size. They're starting the second half with some of their bigger players to be able to match up with Howard's bigs as well.
Yeah, let's run down those Raptor starters. We've got James, got Kalia Boykin, we've got Gonzalez, Kunkar, and Bethany Fowler in for the Raptors. For Howard, Smith at the line. We've got Corcoran, Mallet, Harrington, and finally Sydney Harmon.
And it looks like Fowler and Kunkar are going to draw the defensive assignment on the bigs.
Gonzalez out top. Over to James. She drives, puts it up, floater, nice shot.
Michael, that's the other thing. Who's going to be willing to put the ball on the floor? Because a couple bounces and a mid-range shot, that's been open as well. Great start for James. She can find that a lot this half.
And as evidenced by the fact that Howard has a very short bench, Raptors bench outscoring Howard 20-0.
Yeah, Sarah Dees putting in solid minutes, getting a couple rebounds, a couple assists, but they're not looking for a lot of scoring from her. She's 0 for 4 from the field. But she's really going to be your source of bench scoring when she is in the game.
That's right. So the Raptors with the basketball. James to Gonzalez, into Fowler, back to Gonzalez. Fowler with the drive, kick. Kunkar from 3, good.
Ball movement and shot, Michael.
And that's her first bucket of the game.
There's a little bit of magic in basketball. When that ball moves around and players share it, the shots fall a little bit easier.
Raptors up by 7. early in the second half. Mallett with a strong drive. Mallett had 11 points in the first half to go along with 7 rebounds.
That one's got to upset Coach Gasquet, where you just got to step up and take a charge, put your body on the line there.
Kunkar drives, puts it up, has it blocked by Harmon. Ahead to Corcoran. She has it taken away by James. She takes it all the way, puts it up, no good. And here comes Smith, pushing it up against Gonzalez.
Michael, in the first half, almost half of Montgomery College's points, 15 of them were off turnovers. So Howard, good job getting back there. Here comes another turnover. Can MC make them pay for it?
Ahead to Kunkar, puts it up, good. So Kunkar off to a great start here in the second half.
Nice
6 points.
And that's MC basketball, right? Get the turnover, have your players run those lanes, get down court. As you can see, ball dribbled off the foot. Head up right away, pitch it ahead.
Mallett,
a nice pass
with a
fake here.
Strong drive and a bucket. And she's fouled on Kunkar.
As we were watching that replay, Mallett just continues to assert her dominance on the offensive end, having a great game.
She is really strong, and the Raptors really don't have anybody that can handle her physically.
Just being crafty with the drives, has really good quicks away from the ball, and just has really shifty footwork to be able to draw that contact and be able to finish strong.
And she makes the three-pointer, and she's going to take a breather. Here comes Deese. Looks like Mallett is favoring her right leg a little bit. She's got 16 points.
That's going to be a huge subplot for Howard if she's not healthy enough to continue to go.
Boykin missed. Had a wide open look there. There's a battle for the ball. Boykin, they're going to call a jump ball. And the possession arrow is for Montgomery.
Now that foul line jumper is going to be open all game, but can you get your feet under control? Can you get balance on that shot? That shot looked a little bit rushed. Every catch that Montgomery College have gotten at the foul line, they haven't had to rush their offense. They have time to shoot it. There was even time to put the ball on the floor and see if you could pitch it down to a teammate for an easy layup that time. So I think the first key is just getting that good catch at the free throw line, and then what do you do with it? There's enough time to kind of assess what's going on and then fire up that shot.
Boykin with the inbound. Over to James from the corner. It's long. And it'll stay down at the Montgomery end. Good look at Kalia Boykin, sophomore. Inbounds it to Kunkar, back to Boykin. Out to Gonzalez. There's Kunkar from 3. In and out, no good. Rebound to Harmon.
MC pressuring.
And she has it taken away by Fowler. And Fowler is fouled by Corcoran.
So what Howard's doing is working against them, Michael. Good solid rebound, just get the ball under control down court. But MC is able to triple team the ball 80 feet from the basket and not pay for it. Other teams that will have a pace of play will push that ball ahead and not let you do certain things like that.
And that's knocked out of bounds by Smith. It'll stay at the Raptor end. Raptors up by 4. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Good look at Boykin. Gets it into Fowler, puts up the jumper, off the board, and good. Using the window.
Michael, little difference there. First of all, that's Fowler's shot. She made a shot there in the first half with that N1. And she has the chance to collect her feet, fire up the shot on balance.
And she just picked up her 3rd foul. And that hurts.
Big one for MC, but she's staying in the game.
Wasn't much to that foul, but it was a foul. Called it a block. She's got 6 points. to go along with the fouls. Corcoran with the inbound.
On top of that, she has the assignment on Harrington right now.
Which is not an easy assignment.
And with Mallet out of the game, Harrington's going to be your primary offensive threat.
That's for sure. Harrington with an excellent first half.
Well, as I speak, Mallet had just checked back in the game, so you have both of the featured players and Howard back in the game.
Smith, no good. Fowler battles for the rebound.
That's a surprising shot clock violation. Seems like the ball did hit the rim.
It hit underneath, I thought. See if we can get a look at it.
Yeah,
No, it did hit the rim. Not sure why that was a violation. Obviously it wasn't, as the ball will stay with Howard. All the way out to Harrington. Smith, Mallet. And stolen by Gonzalez.
Great job by Boykin on that last stretch, taking the challenge of playing defense against Mallet, keeping the body in front and forcing the turnover.
Kunkar rolled in and out.
And here we are pressuring the rebounder again.
And another foul call. Let's see who this one's against. 15 steals for the Raptors versus 3. So Fowler takes a seat.
And it looks like that foul was on Fowler, so that's 4 for her. So
4 fouls on Fowler.
Very strategic with her minutes to finish out the game.
And yeah, that's a problem.
So Fowler was doing a great job.
And Harrington goes up, and she's fouled.
Looks like that's actually a deflection. Good block right there.
No foul call. So Howard will be inbounding it, Corcoran.
But Eve Weeks getting the block shot there, but she's giving up a good 6 inches.
Smith off the backboard and good.
Smith taking advantage. The defense is focused on the bigs.
And there's a charge on Kunkar. And Raptors head coach Tarla Gasquet not happy with that call at all.
No, we talked about no scoring off the bench, but Sarah D's picking up a big charge right there. It's been a 5 or 4 point game most of the half. Let's see if Howard gets a basket here. All of a sudden we're back to a 1 possession game.
Smith from outside and good. 2-point ball game.
That's trouble if Smith starts to heat up.
Very quick release on that. Oh, rebound by Weeks, no good. Smith, again, she's that cross-country champ, so she's showing no signs of fatigue.
No, she could play 2 today.
Easily. Mallet. And there's a whistle.
And they call it on Weeks away from the ball.
Another foul on the Raptors.
Weeks doing her best against Harrington, who just has a lot of size on her. So into the game comes Bethany Fowler to see if she can match up with a little bit more size.
5 team fouls on the Raptors so far this quarter to just 1 for Howard. And of course the big problem for the Raptors is Bethany Fowler with 4.
Yep. And I checked that it's not Fowler coming in. It's Camille Martin, who had those 2 3-pointers in the first half to really spark the Raptors.
Looking at some of the stats, Raptors trailing in rebounds, 31-16.
Well, they were down 10 rebounds at the half, so now they're down 15.
Yep.
It's Howard extending that advantage on the rebounding side.
Howard shooting 56% from the floor to 36% for Howard or for the Raptors. So And the Raptors have them in the three-point category, 7 of 21 for the Raptors versus just 2 of 7 for Howard. So that is why the Raptors are on top.
Howard doing a good job drawing fouls this quarter. So Julia Harrington on that loose ball foul. She's at the line shooting 2 in the bonus.
She misses the first.
And you don't really mind fouling Harrington. She had those 2 good-looking free throws in the first half, but she's a 45% free throw shooter. So now kind of back on schedule, 2 for 4 from the line.
Yeah, she missed both of those rather badly. So the Raptors on the attack. James drives the middle and a floater, beauty.
There it is, putting the ball on the floor.
Camille Martin back in for the Raptors. Ahead to Deese, no good. And Martin. Harrington.
Harrington, another rebound. It's hard to see if Harrington's going to wear down. We talked about the fitness of Smith on Howard, but Harrington, Montgomery College did a great job last possession. They're running a lot of cutters through the lane because Harrington is engaging all of them. So a lot of Raptors putting their bodies on the line because Harrington can push them off easily. But by being preoccupied with all those cutters, that enabled the drive to get to the basket last possession from MC.
She made the first, short on the second. Raptors on top by 3. 3:38 to go in the third quarter. Just 1 team foul this period for Howard. And James tried to break the double team, and she's fouled.
And that's a way to force the action. The zone from Howard does look tired. They're not flying to the ball as much. They're just taking up space because they are a big team. But can you get the ball on the floor under control, be tough with it, draw some of those fouls, get those drives to the basket?
James with 12 points. Neil Martin back in for the Raptors along with Timmons. Tamira Timmons puts it up, off the board, no good. Harrington with the rebound. Here comes Smith. For 3, wide open. And she ties it up.
Smith just finding what the defense gives her all game. Is it a little layup? Is it an open 3? Having a heck of a game tonight. Michael, this is where I would attack the zone. I'd get it back to Izzy Lujan-Gonzalez on the right side. Try to attack against Sarah Dees, who's being the slowest to the ball out of the 5 Dragons on the floor.
And there's a foul on Timmons. She came over the back there to tie up Smith.
The Raptors, we've talked about a few times, they're a team with active hands, but Howard being so solid with the ball, you got to get in front of the player with your body first and then grab at the basketball. Raptors are just paying with it with those cheap reach-in fouls 80 feet from the basket.
So that puts Nakia Smith on the line. She's 1 for 2 from the line tonight so far.
Smith, good gamesmanship, taking her time. Howard playing with 6 players today. This is an extra rest for her teammates.
First one is up and good.
You can see as good a rebounding team as Howard is, they have no one on the line. They're just getting back on defense, getting ready for the next possession.
And that way the players get a little break down at the other end as well. There's misses the second. Here comes the Raptors. Tiana James with the ball. Over to Gonzalez. Over to Moore. There's Moore from outside for 3.
That's a big shot. That was a tough one, Michael.
Yeah, Denasia Moore with the 3. Here comes Harrington with a strong move. Misses it. Mallet up and in. And she's fouled. So Mallet will go to the line with a chance to put Howard ahead. And this will be the first time they've led since the first quarter.
Besides the seesaw we just got
That's
on
true.
where they took the lead just a minute ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a while since Howard has had the lead in this game.
And she missed it. That makes her 2 for 4 from the line tonight. James to Gonzalez. Bad pass. Picked off by Smith. She just didn't see Smith.
That's the area of the zone you want to attack, but can you just put it on the floor and get a drive?
Smith with the drive, missed it. Mallet up. She's fouled.
Again, that great footwork of Mallet. The foul last time down the floor, a little bit questionable, but that time just finding the reaches and initiating the contact.
There's Smith.
So watch this. On the rebound,
Misses.
just tough with the ball, finds the reaching hand, powers through it, and gets that attempt up.
She's got 10 rebounds and 18 points, so she's got a double-double, and we're still in the third quarter.
Who said it's a bad thing to only have 6 players?
And she makes them both. So Howard now up by 2. As time running down here in the third quarter. Boykin. Desire Coleman in for the Raptors, and there is James with an easy 2. Ties it back up at 50.
Key little stretch here. Nakia Smith is getting a rest for Howard. First minutes for Rachel Bynum.
Up, no good. Rebound to Coleman.
So this is the first time 2 subs in the game for Howard. Can MC take advantage of that? That's probably only going to happen for this minute.
Yep. They're going to give him a little breather before the start of the fourth quarter. Crunch time.
And you can see Bynum coming in a little bit cold, flat-footed on the zone right there. So the top of the zone, a little bit vulnerable, and you can see all the bigs down low had to react to the ball last time. Easy shot.
Boykin off the inbound.
Again, no active guards on the top of the zone. Bigs down low have to work a little bit harder. 2 easy shots for the Raptors these last 2 possessions.
50 seconds to go in the quarter. Mallet through a double team, gets her own rebound, puts it up, blocked, and Boykin's going to draw the foul. Mallet would just wouldn't quit.
What a desire play. Got 2 rebounds there. The biggest surprise is getting to drive all the way to the basket before she even got the attempt up.
Very impressed with Mallet tonight.
So getting the drive all the way to the basket.
This is pure desire here.
Good shot block on the second attempt. And a pretty good contest right there, but gets just enough of the hands.
And
Michael, you think she wants it tonight?
I think she wants it tonight. And Howard is up by 1. 20 seconds to go in the quarter. James, no good.
Surprised
Mallet
it's not a
with
foul.
the rebound, and there's a foul.
Michael, Coach Gasquet has to be beside herself. That was a fairly clear foul on the 3-point attempt by MC, and another touch foul by the Raptors coming down.
Yeah, she's not happy.
I think
we remember that lobbying that was done in the first quarter by the Howard head coach.
Right, I was thinking Coach Barnes after this game might consider a position in politics if she wants to give up this coaching thing. Whatever she said to explain her point of view to the officials has been carrying the night.
It has.
A lot of reach fouls on Montgomery College. Like we talked about earlier, they are fouls, but in the flow of the game, when advantage isn't gained from a physical team, usually the referees don't whistle that much. It's an advantage to a physical team that you do get away with a little bit of reaches when you're an aggressive team. Not tonight.
23 points, 13 rebounds for Mallet. Came into this game averaging 11 points a game and 9 rebounds.
Having 2 games in 1. Got the reach right there.
fouled Camille Martin.
She's a little incredulous here, and here's the issue. When reach-ins are called, right? Not a lot of contact there either, but you got to call it. That's the way the game's being officiated right now.
There's James from way out. Oh! She got a very friendly bounce as it bounced back in to put the Raptors up 55-54 after 3 quarters of play.
Well, Michael, James was due. The Raptors were due. We talked about their shot selection. A lot of outside shots. None of them falling when often, unless you get a good pass here. So it is a rhythm catch. Good attempt. Gets the shooter's roll.
Oh, yes. So Tiana James puts the Raptors up by 1 after 3 quarters of play.
Let's see what that does for James. She opened up the second half with a nice drive to the basket, got another one, and almost quietly she has 19 points. It's funny to say, another basket, she's going to have another 20-plus point night.
19 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist so far for Tiana James.
I'd love to see her against that right side of the Howard zone. I think that's the weakest spot that they have. Can she get the ball on the floor? And it's a right-handed dribble, too. It's a comfortable dribble. Can she get that to get her own shot or make the defense come at her, get an easy drop-off for her teammates?
Good look at the Howard bench. And I tell you, I am very impressed with this Howard squad.
Playing with a ton of heart tonight. You can see how tired they are. They're going to will themselves through these last 10 minutes. I have no doubt they're going to give maximum effort.
And looking at a couple of interesting stats here, Sean. Howard with 12 second chance points to 5 for the Raptors.
And a lot of that has been the effort of Mallet this half, because Howard only had 2 second chance points at halftime. So that's 10 second chance points in just the third quarter. And a lot of that was Mallet getting rebounds, getting those and-ones.
Howard still out shooting the Raptors from the field 52-6 to 40.7.
But again, the Raptors shooting better in that third quarter. They shot 47% from the field.
And they hit 3 out of 6 from 3. Howard took just the 1 3. They did make it.
So, as we predicted, Nakia Smith back on the court for Howard. So they survived that little stretch without her on the floor.
And no foul shots in the third quarter for the Raptors.
Oh, early turnover. Can MC make him pay?
Boykin, quick bucket.
Extending
so
to the
a quick
full
turnover and a quick 2 for the Raptors.
As soon as that ball's turned over, how many times have we said that? Players running, head up, easy fill, easy score. So Michael, in a game this close, as it's going to come down to a couple possessions.
Inside to Harmon for 2.
Is Howard going to kick themselves saying, those couple turnovers, those couple runouts by MC, we knew they were going to do it. We let them up too many times. But as it is, still 1-point game here.
For the Raptors, we have Boykin, Timmons, Gonzalez, James, and Weeks. For Howard, we have Smith, Deese, Corcoran, Harrington, and Harmon. Mallet is taking a break right now for Howard.
And Michael, I'm interested to see what Timmons and Weeks are able to do. Both started the game. They've had tough matchups. Weeks undersized as a big compared to Howard's bigs. And Timmons just hasn't played as many minutes tonight as they're looking for offensive threats. And Timmons does so many things on the court. Shooting the ball is not one of them, but she's a huge impact player on defense. Can she get some of those deflections and steals?
All right, here comes Mallet. Comes in for Harrington.
So one giving the other one a rest.
Raptors with a little more pressure. There's Smith. Beautiful reverse.
She does find so many different ways to score the ball. She can shoot just fundamentally sound on that reverse. Get the ball high off the glass, good things happen.
Gonzalez short from 3. 18 points for Smith in the game tonight. She and Mallet have really carried them offensively. Harrington has added quite a bit.
And the most impressive thing from Smith is the efficiency. She comes into the game shooting at 38% from the field, shooting at a much more efficient clip tonight.
Corcoran all the way, nobody stopped her.
Surprise
that,
there.
That puts Howard ahead.
As MC should have the fresh legs. Howard's the one running.
Boykin, maybe she's going to start heating up now.
And that fill through the lane has been good for Boykin. And that time in motion instead of having to stop and shoot.
Smith misses. Here comes James.
Luan Gonzalez thought about that one.
Stolen by Howard. Here comes Smith again. All the way. And she scores.
Michael, the overhead flip, the baby hook, the quick release shot, the extended jump shot. How many different ways has Smith scored tonight? Look at this one right here. Ball fake one way. I'm just going to flip it over my shoulder. Use glass because even with the flashiness, fundamentally sound.
Very impressive player, Nakia Smith, out of St. Vincent Pallotti High School.
Just so cerebral. We talked about she's a cross-country champ. All that running probably just gives her time to think, I suppose.
Yeah, 20 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. And she has definitely been leading the offense.
Michael, we've talked about how the bigs for Howard are really carrying. They're the matchup problem, but whenever MC has adjusted, there's Smith with an open shot, with a drive, with a tempo changer.
And she really knifes through the traffic.
So MC has a little bit of something going on offense too. Can they keep their players in motion? Kalea Boykin with that catch in the free throw line slashing through the lane. That's something that free throw catch has been open all game. Can you get the right players who are going to score there? Can you get some movement off of the ball as soon as you get that foul line catch so when the defense adjusts and reacts to it? We saw Smith denying that pass at the free throw line. So can you find those other open seams in the defense? How many quality shots can MC get in this fourth quarter that aren't those deep threes? So they're not just hoping that they get it in, but they're executing on their offense. That's going to be the key for them in this last 7 minutes and 48 seconds.
They have settled for the three a lot tonight, particularly in the first half. Relying on it a little less here in the second half.
And you can see they're living in limbo a little bit. Lujan Gonzalez thought about a 35-footer, which I think Coach Gasquet is happy she thought better of, but if that's taking away some of your identity, of your confidence, now you're living in limbo, right? Well, here she is.
She thought about it. Cross court to James, to Timmons. Good defense here by Howard. There's Gonzalez from way outside. Nothing but net. And a steal by Gonzalez. And a foul on Mallet.
And we're late in the game, so I don't think it'll be a big factor, but I believe that's 3 on Mallet. Well, she's been thinking about it. A shooter that good,
2
it's gonna
fouls
eventually
on Mallet.
fall. So just 2 fouls on Mallet, so no trouble at all with a little bit over 7 minutes left in the game.
Good look at MC's head volleyball coach there, Tori Creamer.
Another Region 20 champion, as we saw at the halftime feature.
Timmons with the putback, and she's fouled. So that'll put Tamira Timmons on the foul line. And that's the third foul on Corcoran.
This is the first time MC's been at the foul line.
All half.
Yeah. Timmons a 50% shooter.
And she drains the first. They had no foul shots in the third period. Really haven't been that many foul shots in the entire game.
No, there was the second quarter where Howard got into the bonus rather early, got some of those loose ball fouls called against them, and really pushed the advantage of getting some free throw shots.
Yeah, just 9 foul shots on the night for MC. They've made 5 of them.
But
6 of them.
But that sounds about right. They've just not been the aggressors with the basketball most of the time. Oh, another basket cut just left open.
Oh, wide open there. And that was Harmon. So it's a 2-point game. Boykin wide open in the middle. No good. Weeks almost got it.
Good hustle
but
by
here's
Weeks. Got to get that
again.
squeeze.
Ahead to Corcoran. And over to Deese. Gets it to Mallett. Gonzalez gets a hand on it, but Smith comes up with it. Feeds to Mallett, no good. Off the Raptors, it'll stay down at the Howard end.
So Montgomery College is blitzing those ball screens. That means 2 defensive players are being sent to the ball. What has to happen, though, is as soon as that blitz is over, the player has to sprint back to the player they were defending, or the defense has to rotate over. Too many times tonight, that cutter has been wide open and has resulted in those layups. Another drive and a foul.
Another drive and a foul.
And we heard Coach Gasquet just say, just get in front of them.
So Moore comes back in, replacing Gonzalez for the Raptors.
Now, easy for Coach Gasquet to say when you're giving up a lot of size on the player driving against you. You got to really put your body on the line.
Deese to Mallett. Mallett with the drive, wild pass there, and a bucket for Harmon, and a foul.
And Tiana James cannot believe it. She had the straight-up contest. It's really hard to see where the contact came from there. Now we're back towards the finish. Really good defense here, just staying in front like Coach Gasquet was asking.
Ooh.
Looks like a good contest. I would think a non-call there. Both players going for the ball in a 50-50 position.
And that's 3 fouls on James, and that's certainly someone they do not want to pick up number 4.
Absolutely, but I think with 6 minutes left, it's not really going to affect whether she's being pulled out of the game at this point.
No, shouldn't. It shouldn't. She's got the ball. We're all tied up into Boykin. Oh, missed the easy one.
Oh, there's that middle cut by Boykin. It's been open. She's just not getting it to fall.
Smith.
Here comes the pick and roll with Mallett, or just.
There's Mallett with a spin move. She's fouled. Boy, that's a strong move.
That is a strong move.
I don't want to get in the way of that.
No, but unfortunate situation for Tamira Timmons, who really did a good job defensively. I thought she did draw a charge.
That's 3 fouls on Timmons. She comes out of the game. Fowler back in. She's got 4 fouls. And Gonzalez is back in as James takes a seat.
Coach Gasquet just trying to find someone who can match up. She's tried the small players who can just stay in front. I thought Timmons did a good job the last couple possessions, but Mallett just able to draw that contact.
Points in the paint. Howard on top, 38-26. No surprise there.
Absolutely not.
And she's short with the second, but look at Harmon with the rebound. Snuck in there to get it. Out to Deese. Taken away by Moore. Ahead to Gonzalez. Kind of threw it up there. Not a good shot.
And a tough one for MC. That's the first time they've been in this situation. Open court, run the lanes, easy fill, easy bucket, but that one doesn't go down. Pretty good contest by Smith there. Got just enough of a body and a little piece of the ball to influence that shot.
And not get the call. Not pick up the foul. There's Smith weaving through trouble. Has it taken away by Gonzalez.
Really good hustle by Lujan Gonzalez.
All tied up with 5 minutes to go in the ballgame. Boykin loses the handle. Here comes Deese. all by herself, taken away by Gonzalez.
2 deflections straight by Lujan Gonzalez.
So Gonzalez with the very quick hands certainly saved a bucket there.
Michael, 5 minutes left, tie game. This is where the heart comes out. This is where that desire comes out. Offensive rebound by Howard on that last free throw possession. Couple deflections by MC.
Smith from 3, no good. Fowler with the rebound, and she's fouled by Harmon.
And it looks like Fowler's going to be, it looks like they were going to be shooting free throws. One more from the bonus.
One more. All right, so Raptors with the ball. Just under 5 minutes to go in the game. Moore to Fowler to Gonzalez. Kunkar, no good. Knocked out of bounds by the Raptors. It'll be Howard ball with 4:32 to go, all tied up at 66.
Tough break for Kunkar. She followed her shot. Boykin had a beat on it too. They wound up deflecting it away from each other.
Full court pressure by the Raptors.
But on that last possession, Michael, they made Howard work. Mallet had to go contest shots 3 different times.
And there's Corcoran, and she charges. And she really whacked Bethany Fowler.
What a great desire play by Fowler, who's taken a minute to recover from that. We've been saying all game, MC has those opportunities to draw charges. Just get in front, put your body on the line.
Ooh.
But when it gets kicked on the
Her head hit the floor after the hit.
Very fortunate and very, very grateful. She looks like she's walking down the floor. She looks like she's okay.
Wow. That was tough. That was tough. All right, 66 all. Moore with the ball. To Kunkar. Over to Gonzalez. To Moore. Kunkar. Got it. Nice bucket.
Finding that soft spot in the zone. This time Kunkar gets the shot to fall.
68-66 Raptors. Harrington back in. There's a whistle. We got a foul. Foul is on Boykin. That's her third.
Boykin foul away from the ball. Harmon's going to be at the line. Another 50% free throw shooter for Howard.
She makes the first.
Gets the clutch one right there.
She's 1 of 2 from the line tonight.
Michael, MC has had trouble defending when all 3 of Howard's bigs are on the floor at the same time.
And she makes them both. 50% foul shooter makes them both. And we're all tied up again at 68.
It's a full court look.
There's Fowler, drives, no good. Kunkar battles, loses it, and Mallet is down. And it looks to me like she's grabbing her leg.
Well, remember in the first half she was favoring that leg, but it looks like it's got to be a cramp. She's played big minutes tonight, has made such an impact as a player.
Yeah, I think it must be a cramp.
Really hope this is something that she can shake off with a little bit of rest and get back in the game. She deserves to be able to finish this game tonight. See who may the best team win with all 5 healthy bodies.
Exactly. Good look at the Raptors bench.
Coach Gasquet looking with interest. You know, she's a great competitor, has the heart of a competitor. She has those same thoughts of wanting to have the best players out there. But strategically, if their best player is out, how are we going to defend that? Like we just talked about at the free throw line, MC has had trouble matching up when all 3 of Howard's bigs are on the floor.
I think it's a cramp situation. We certainly hope it is.
So you know she's going to try to get some water, massage it out a little bit, and try to be back in a couple possessions.
She has played quite a game here tonight.
And with that reminder that she tweaked something in the first half and has continued to dominate into the second half.
24 points, 13 rebounds.
She's having herself a whole weekend in one night.
And 9 for 12 from the field. So
I think, Michael, 2 of those misses she got her own rebound on also.
I wouldn't be surprised. Pasadena, Maryland native.
Pasadena with its rich history of basketball between Chesapeake and Northeast High School.
Interesting for the Raptors, Tiana James is not on the floor with 3:35 to go. We've got Kumkar, Fowler, Moore, Gonzalez, and Boykin. For Howard, we've got Harmon, Harrington, Deese, Corcoran, and Smith.
And James hit that deep 3 to end the third quarter.
There's Smith from 3, off the rim, no good. Rebound to Boykin. She pushes it up the floor to Gonzalez from the corner, no good. Battle for the rebound. It's going to be Raptor ball. As Harrington and Denasia Moore both went hard after that ball.
Great hustle from Denasia Moore, kind of a running box out to make sure that possession stayed with the Raptors.
Boykin inbounds. Gets it to Gonzalez. Over to Boykin. Gonzalez from 3. Good. Izzy Gonzalez with a big 3. Puts the Raptors up by 3 with 2:50 to go in the ball game.
Huge shot, and we talked about finding the open player. Smith on Howard is kind of playing a one-woman ball-chasing zone. Made the top of the zone a little bit more vulnerable. They found the player and the right player to take that big 3.
And Howard missed at the other end, so the Raptors will take possession. They're up by 3 with 2:39 to go in the ball game. Working a little clock. James is now back in for the Raptors. She's got the ball.
So Smith's at the bottom of the zone, and you can see Harrington's at the top of the zone.
Oh, lost a handle, and that's going to be a foul on Kumkar. Talia Kumkar.
This is not a bad foul to stop a fast break when the majority of Howard's players shoot 50% at the free throw line or worse.
This is Harmon. She did hit her last 2. And that's 4 fouls on Kumkar. So Fowler and Kumkar both with 4 for the Raptors.
But it looks like this is the 5 to close the game for now.
And Harmon hits the first, so she's hit 3 in a row. Harmon again, off the rim, no good. Rebound to Gonzalez. Raptors up by 2, just over 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Big possession.
It's that inverted look back off. Both guards playing at the top of the zone again. Another open 3.
There's Gonzalez, had plenty of time, no good. Battle for the ball. And Harrington comes out of there with it, loses it, and just wallops Tiana James. Walloped her.
And this all started with a gutsy play in the backcourt.
And Tiana James checking to make sure she has all her teeth. Here it comes.
Tiana James, solid catch.
Boom.
Gets hit in the face. That's unfortunate it was not called as a flagrant foul.
No, I don't think it was intentional.
No,
that's for
certainly
sure.
not intentional hit to the face, but
sometimes a hit to the face will be called just because it's a hit to the face.
right, with that force, just with
Right.
running at the player. Absolutely
James
not.
misses the first.
We've seen Harrington as a physical player, not afraid to get a little bit of a shove on a player, but wasn't trying to take somebody out there.
No, absolutely not. James with the second makes it. So the Raptors up by 3 with 1:57 to go.
Michael,
James,
we're starting to talk
22
about
points.
that last possession. Bethany
5
Fowler,
rebounds, 2 assists.
Bethany Fowler on that last possession had the deflection that started the steal with 4 fouls, still willing to try to get that reach in and get that deflection.
Mallet, big drive.
What a great drive, and that's the other consequence. Driving against 2 players who had 4 fouls, I have to let her go.
Raptors up by 1, minute and a half to go. Kumkar off the rim, no good. Fowler loses the ball out of bounds. And here comes a sub. Eve Weeks in for the Raptors, replacing Bethany Fowler.
Fowler a little bit surprised to be coming out. Weeks has given great effort against these bigs from Howard.
Almost
giving
a
up a lot of
steal there
subs.
by Boykin. Harrington inbounding it to Mallet. Raptors with the press. Mallet breaks it. Gonzalez with a beautiful steal ahead to Boykin for the bucket.
Michael, what are we
Gonzalez
talking
with
about?
a beautiful job.
Would there be one too many turnovers and fast breaks the other way?
Gonzalez has had her hands in the passing lane the entire second half.
And really smart move as we see the great finish here. Really smart move by Coach Gasquet. Pick up the players full court.
21 steals for the Raptors.
So they're right on cue, averaging 20 a game. That 21st one might be the decisive one.
And we don't have the individual stats yet, but the leader has got to be Gonzalez.
Absolutely. But the key was making Mallet drive the entire length of the court. She's been able to drive in that half court, but having her handle the ball the length of the court, forcing her into a pass that she doesn't usually make on the perimeter, and then Lujan Gonzalez there to sweep up the garbage, turned it into 2 points on the other end.
And that puts Smith on the line. She made the first. Second is up and good. So 74-73, one point Raptor lead, big possession.
Michael Howard doing everything they can, shooting free throws exquisitely tonight as a team that does not shoot them well typically.
Howard with the zone, the 2-3. Kumkar, Gonzalez, James drives through, cuts through, and she's fouled.
And there was that key moment. Those drives have been open for James, picking her spots.
And she'll go to the line.
And coming in with fresh legs. She sat a lot of the fourth quarter.
So clearly an intentional move by head coach Tarla Gasquet. And that puts James at the line. She is 3 for 4 from the line tonight. Got 22 points.
And Harrington with 4 fouls with 40 seconds left here.
First one is up and good.
Howard has not made a lot of threes tonight, so even though 3 points is a one-possession game, it's a big free throw here.
Very big. Howard's only threes, I believe, are from Smith. Second one is up and good. So she makes them both with ice water in her veins to put the Raptors up by 3 with 40 seconds to go. We got a timeout on the floor and a good look at the Raptors huddle.
And Michael, I'd be playing some no threes defense right now. Just get that contest, and then otherwise pack in the lane. Give up the mid-range shot if you need to. Haven't been a lot of jump shots made. Make sure that you don't let Smith get anything at all.
Yeah, you'd like to keep the ball out of Smith's hands, but that, of course, is a little easier said than done.
Right, and if that ball gets down low, you got to clamp down early and send the player to the line, or just get your hands straight up and even back off, because even those hands-up contests with a little bit of body have turned into end ones. You definitely don't want to give up a three-point play to one of the bigs from Howard. You can see we're looking over at the Raptors huddle right there. They're all talking to each other about hands up on defense. Don't be reaching in this stage of the game.
No. No, they're going to play solid defense here. They're going to try to, obviously.
Both teams in the bonus, Michael. Advantage to the Raptors in a free throw shooting contest. But Howard tonight defined the percentages, making a lot of clutch free throws. Double team on Smith, so she can't catch the ball.
Having trouble getting it in.
And a 5-second.
A 5-second violation. 5-second violation.
Tarla Gasquet just pushing the right button again, not guarding the inbounder, double teaming Smith, so they can't let their point guard catch the ball. Everybody was waiting for Smith to catch the ball.
Another timeout on the floor. .40 seconds to go. Yeah, that was a great job there by the Raptors. Obviously set up by Tarla Gasquet.
And an element of surprise. That's something that they could have done earlier in the game because they know who the primary ball handler is. But to save it for a clutch possession right there, Howard clearly not ready for it with the other players who didn't work as hard to get a catch once they realized that Smith was being double teamed. Smith did everything that she could. Very precise 5 seconds by the officials, but 5 seconds nonetheless.
And you got to figure the other Dragons are figuring Smith's getting this inbound pass.
Of course.
You know, that's the way it's been going the entire game.
Right.
You know.
She's been a one-woman press break, even with all the turnovers that Howard has had, with basically one primary ball handler to keep the Raptors to about their average of forcing turnovers. Just a couple more than usual, a couple more steals than usual. So you're getting the game that you expected, and then suddenly they force that turnover from their point guard.
I'll tell you what, folks, if you're enjoying this game, stick with us because we've got another one coming up about 20 minutes after this one ends. The MC men will be taking on the Howard men, and that should be another great game. So a lot of great basketball ahead.
Yeah, another two teams right at the top of the standings. Postseason aspirations, both teams playing really well.
Here we go, 40 seconds to go. Raptors with the ball. And they call that off of James. So a big turnover.
Get the ball back, and you only expired 1 second off the clock.
Only 1 second came off the clock. Howard with the ball, trailing by 3.
This time Smith with the clean catch.
Yep, Smith with the ball. Gonzalez is on her. Mallet now with Boykin on her. Mallet loses the handle, has the baseline, puts it up, in and out. And it's Raptors ball.
Now, Michael, for the first time this game, they made Mallet drive left. And just that little bit of discomfort when you have to drive left, even though she got the right-handed layup, that might have been a bit of a difference. Referees discussed it. They give the ball back to Howard. Here's Mallet having to drive left. Then the mistake of giving up the baseline on defense. Shot doesn't fall. It does look like that's off block. It should be white ball. It should be Raptors ball.
It sure looked like it to me as well. Inside to Harrington, up and good. It's a 1-point game.
But the Raptors don't have to shoot the ball.
20 seconds to go. Raptors do not have to score. There's James to Boykin. Raptors playing keep away. And Boykin is fouled.
Michael, tough with a game that's been this well played for Howard to let the Raptors run a good 15 seconds off the clock before they make an honest attempt at a foul.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't come in the first 5 seconds of the possession. As soon as they got the ball over the midcourt line.
Boykin shooting 60% from the line on the season coming in.
And she makes that most important first shot.
And nothing's like those shots at the end of the game. You almost throw out percentages like we've done with Howard. Howard hitting a bunch of clutch free throws. Again, here's a big one. Can Howard run the regular offense and look for a 2-point shot, or do they basically have to get a 3 at this point?
And she makes them both. So Boykin and James both with key foul shots down the line.
So like you said, Michael, Smith is one of the shooters, and Kalani Corcoran had a 3-pointer as well. So those are the two that you want to make sure don't get that last shot.
You got and you've got, they're in the, I'm not sure how much time is left.
About 6 seconds left, Michael.
About 6 seconds, all right.
Do you go for the foul as Howard goes up the court? What do you do, Coach Brown? You can foul them with about 3 seconds left, and they could be in a situation of make the first and intentionally miss the second, as good at rebounders as they are.
Right. And with their dominance on the boards tonight, they could make that work.
Yeah, I would take my chances on defense.
I would too. I would not. I would pressure the ball all the way up the floor.
Yeah.
And obviously try to keep it out of Smith's hands.
Right. And what's working for Howard is they do have their bigs, so while they might not be 3-point shooters, they can set some screens. They could try to ensure that Smith or Corcoran gets that last look.
And Malik can handle it a little bit. So let's see what they do. Howard will.
That's right, Michael. New rule in college basketball: you can advance the ball on the timeout. So very helpful for Howard that they don't have to get the ball up the court with only 6 seconds left.
Here we go. Mallet inbounding it.
Double team on Smith again.
This time they get it to Harmon. To Kehlani. Off the mark. No good.
Boy, that was close.
That was very close as the Raptors pull this one out. 78-75. A big win.
And a well-played game, Michael, down to the wire. When there's a game like this, both teams have to consider they both played well enough to win. Call goes one way, shot goes one way. Well, that heave from Corcoran almost tied the game up, almost sent us into overtime. So basically an even game, but it comes down to those couple plays executed. The defensive plays down the stretch for the Raptors, the fact that they got just enough fast break points. They were almost perfect on the fast break. I think just one turnover, but basically converting every time they got a loose ball steal.
And who do you think our player of the game should be, Sean?
Well, there are a lot of candidates tonight, Michael. I think Tiana James led the team in scoring, even though she sat most of the fourth quarter. She had that big 3 to finish the third quarter to give the Raptors enough of that cushion. So I think because it truly is a team win, I don't really want to pick a player of the game, but we'll give it to James because she had the most points tonight on a game where points, as many as were scored, were kind of hard to come by. They were all earned.
And let's not forget that she, as well as Kalia Boykin, each of them hit 2 key foul shots in the last half minute.
Absolutely.
To ice it for the Raptors.
Yeah, and let's give an honorable mention to Izzy Lujan-Gonzalez, who had a couple deep threes, played most of the fourth quarter, had that key steal down the stretch, just really what was the engine to get the Raptors going again.
She befuddled the Howard offense all night with her hands, her quick hands. We don't know. I don't have a number on her steals, but it's got to be 5 or 6 at least.
Yeah, and Lujan Gonzalez is just a different player, just effervescent. The way that she moves around the court in a game that was such a hard tempo, a lot of classic basketball, posts with great footwork, hard drives to the basket. She's that change of pace that really changed things up.
But I think we got to tip our hats to both teams because this was an excellent game. And, full disclosure here, when we heard about the injury situation for Howard, we thought, this could be ugly. But Howard played their hearts out.
Absolutely. Basically 6 players deep and the bigs playing maximum minutes. We saw Malik go down with a cramp and then come into the game as soon as she could again. Just players that wanted to win the game tonight on both sides, really giving their maximum effort, putting on a show for the fans here tonight, and a well-attended game. And I'm glad everybody on our YouTube audience got to see a good one tonight.
They sure did. So once again, our final score, the Raptors pull it out 78-75. They improve to 14-7 on the season overall, 7-0 in Maryland JUCO. But don't go anywhere, folks, because coming right up in about 15 minutes, we've got the MC men taking on the Howard men. Sean and I'll be right back with that after just a quick break.